What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we are going to be running through the League of Legends patch notes for patch 10.19, which is going to be the Worlds patch. This patch will not be coming out for about another week or so now, but always on Twitter, Riot does like to release the patch notes about a week early just so everyone can get a chance to kind of check them out, and then if there's any big mistakes or errors or if there's anything they want to change after they get some feedback and stuff, they always make some changes. But this should be pretty close to what the Worlds patch is going to be played on. This is one of the biggest patches of the whole year in terms of like importance for Riot Games, for the professional scene, for viewership, for so many things. If this patch sucks, Worlds could suck, viewership could be horrible, they could hear about it for pretty much years and years on end. But if this patch is good, it could be so good for League of Legends, for esports in general, for Worlds. And it really can affect which teams end up winning and losing. It can affect drafting, it can affect so many things, but it can also affect your guys' solo queue games as well. And I know that's what a lot of people are here for. So hopefully we can run through these notes. You guys can see what's up, and then you can get climbing up the ranks. First up, I just want to mention a few things. Mark Yetter has said that they did get some more data from 10.18, and Talon and Nunu were supposed to get nerfed in this patch, but those have been removed. I'm not too excited about that. Talon and Nunu, both pretty annoying. Wouldn't really mind if they both got nerfed, but neither one of them are going to be in these patch notes, even though I covered them both in my video earlier in the week. And then they're seeing some risk that Akali and Lucian could take over the World's meta and be 100% pick ban, which could definitely happen. So they're going to be hitting them some small nerfs as well, which I think is probably a good idea. And again, I don't really think playing against Akali and solo queue is fun, so I don't really mind her getting nerfed. But now with those things out of the way, here we go, getting into the full patch notes. There's not actually that many changes, but we're going to be running through what we got. First up, we have Azir getting his W passive bonus attack speed reduced from 20 to 60 to 10 to 50%. Azir's been a staple in professional play for such a long time. Getting that attack speed reduced, especially in the early game, going to make him a little bit, I don't know, he's not like a lane bully, but there are certain matchups where you can actually kind of poke him down and stuff, especially with Comet in professional play. It'll make him a little bit weaker, and then it'll make his scaling even a little bit worse too, losing 10% attack speed just flat throughout the whole game. Twisted Fate getting a base movement speed decrease from 335 to 330. It's going to make him not as good as roaming around, also more susceptible to skill shots and stuff, which for a squishy champion that can just get exploded and stuff is not super good. He's going to get poked out more often, he's going to get hit by skill shots more often, and yeah, he's just not going to be able to roam around and stuff. Obviously, TF will still be good, probably especially in professional play where he's picked a lot for his ultimate. And you're not affecting that too much, but you know, it is a nerf. It's something. Caitlyn getting her base AD from 64 to 62, and her W headshot damage increase is actually going from 60 to 240 to 40 to 240. So that's hitting her early game really hard. Her headshot damage on her W is reduced 20, and her base AD is going down 2. So that's 2 nerfs kind of pointed at the early game. And obviously Caitlyn, you're picking her to be a lane bully, to be up huge CS, to be taking tower plates and stuff. And the weaker she is early, kind of the less valuable Caitlyn gets, because she has that mid-game trough. So if you're nerfing her early game, then she's not even very strong in the mid-game. And there's definitely some at least equivalent options in the late game. Maybe Caitlyn will not be as good, but I think nerfs for her are good because I think she's definitely been a little bit overpowered. Senna 80 carry, her passive missed Wraith spawn on minion kill. Looks like the rate is getting cut in half, which is actually really, really massive. I definitely think Senna has been overpowered on this patch. She's been pretty meta defining, especially in professional play. Making those Wraiths spawn less often is definitely going to be a big nerf for her. But she'll probably still be good. She probably still has a place in this meta, especially an aggressive kind of topside jungle focus meta. It's really, really nice to have utility on your 80 carry. That's part of why Senna's been so good. Akali getting her Q damage from 30 to 130 down to 25 to 125. That's actually a pretty big nerf because obviously your Q is an ability that you're using all the time. So yeah, you're only losing 5 damage, but you're losing 5 damage a bunch of times. But Akali always finds a way to be in the meta, especially around Worlds, especially in the very, very highest levels of competition. And then Lucian getting his AD per level from 2.75 to 2.3. Obviously, that will hurt him a little bit as well. Make him not so much of a lane bully in the top lane, in the mid lane, against those melee matchups, making their lives just an absolute nightmare. But yeah, I'm sure Akali and Lucian will still be playable, and that's definitely what Riot wants as well. They were not trying to gut them with these nerfs. They just don't want them to be 100% pick ban at Worlds. Next up in the buffs, we have Ahri getting some follow-up buffs after they did her little mini rework. W cooldown is getting reduced a little bit, and the W mana cost is getting decreased a little bit as well. Those should both feel really nice for Ahri. Sivir, we have her passive movement speed from 30 to 50 to 35 to 55. Sivir, since she's such a short range 80 carry, movement speed is always going to be so good on her. Going to help her kite, going to help her stay safe. That will be some nice buffs. Vayne getting her RAD buff It looks like 10 at every rank. That'll be super, super nice for Vayne. I don't know if that is going to put her into competitive play at all. But in solo queue, that'll be nice. You can make some big plays with your Vayne now. Aphelios getting that 80 per level from 2 to 2.4, which is actually, that's like a 20% increase or something. That actually seems pretty massive. That should be a nice little buff to Aphelios. I don't really think anyone missed Aphelios in the meta. He's pretty not fun to watch, pretty not fun to play against. And he's just not been very good for the last couple of months, and it looks like he might be coming back with that buff. That's gonna feel really, really nice on him, honestly. Sylas getting his R cooldown from 100 to 60 down to 100 to 40. Late game, that ultimate cooldown is going to be so low. And obviously Sylas is already this massive scaling champion where if you're able to get through lane phase, you can really, really carry games. And now he's going to be even better at that. Ivern getting his E-slow amount from 40 to 60 to 50 to 70%. That's going to feel really, really nice for Ivern. That's another guy where in solo queue, he's pretty good, and he's going to be better now. If you're an Ivern player, yeah, you're loving this. But I don't really know if that brings him into pro play at all. So I don't know if we'll be seeing any Ivern anytime soon. I don't really think the jungle meta fits him too well right now. Udyr, Phoenix stance, Arcone damage from 50 to 275 plus 60% AP to 50 to 325 plus 70% AP. That's some pretty big buffs. You're getting a 50 damage increase at max rank and the 10% AP on top of that. So you're just getting a straight up damage increase at all ranks. Obviously, you're going to have to be going AP Udyr in that instance. But yeah, that seems like a really big buff to the Phoenix stance there. I don't really know how good AP Udyr is at this point, or how exactly the AP ratios are going to help him, if there's certain items that he's going to be able to take advantage of that on. But it sounds interesting. Again, it's another one. Solo queue, that sounds awful to play against, but I don't think it's going to be affecting competitive play very much. And finally, the big one, Irelia, her R barrage damage from 125 to 325 to 125 to 375, and the R perimeter damage is going from 125 to 275 to 125 to 375. So that's a 50 increase damage on the barrage and a 100 damage increase on the perimeter. Irelia, again, she was already borderline playable. TSM played her in the LCS finals. I'm sure some other teams have played her as well. I haven't really seen too many of the picks around the world, but I know she is a threat and like a fringe top lane, mid lane pick in competitive play right now. And that these buffs seem like they could be putting her over the top. It seems like we might be seeing some Irelia at Worlds, which that would be pretty hype. I've seen a lot of these like massive mechanical players who are so good, the best top laners, the best mid laners in the world, playing playmaking champions like Irelia is pretty hype, even though they can feel pretty terrible to play against. But that one should be fun. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. Which change are you most excited for? Which change did they get completely wrong? What did they get right? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Definitely subscribe so you have on the latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.